Everybody jumps on the sound of my shotgun. Hello again in another episode of Gunfire TV. Today we're gonna talk about shotguns. How do they work? How do you feed them with BBs? And do they all look as ridiculous as mine? Okay, let's start simple. Spring-operated shotgun, which shoots only one BB at a time and uses magazines. Now, all you need to do is to have BBs in magazine. In this version, this is AGM, the magazine gets inside like so after pressing this button and it flashes with the receiver. All you need to do now is to reload it and shoot. That's why they're called pump-action shotguns. This one has a different magazine. This is A and K, and it's made of metal, so it's a bit heavier, and you need to press two buttons to release the magazine. And yes, there are shotguns, real steel shotguns, which use very similar magazines. Both of these have hop-up and it's adjustable. Now, these are very simple designs. You can buy it very cheap, like this AGM. It is of course made mostly of plastic, but it runs a long time. Let me show you my old shotgun that I own it for at least 8 or 10 years. It's made of polymer. There are a lot of battle scratches. Now it lives on my attic, but from time to time I'm taking this out for the skirmishes because this is plastic. It's very light, and if it's in my backpack, I have always something to use, especially during winter, because spring-operated replicas work all the time, never mind the consequences of the weather. So, let me show you a different type of spring-operated shotgun, which does not use magazines. Now, this is a totally different type of a shotgun. It is also spring-operated, but this one has 3 springs, 3 barrels, and 3 hop-up backings, and also 3 pistons. So every time you reload it, you need to compress those 3 springs. So it's good to have a stack on such a replica because, well, after 200 or 500 shots, your hands would be quite tired. As you can see, there is no magazine sticking out or flashed with the replica because this uses magazines, let's call it magazines, which look just like a shotgun shell. This one holds 28 BBs. There are different types that some have 30, some 14, and it's good to know that usually they work between different brands of replicas. So you can take this one and it will probably work with Tokyo Marui. One may say that 30 BBs in such a shell is totally not enough for him or her, especially that this shoots 3 BBs at a time, so you've got like 10 shots and then you need to reload. There is a simple but not very pretty solution. Adapter like this one, you put it instead of a shell and then you can load it with any kind of M4, AR-15 mag, even the drums will fit, although it would be a bit too heavy. And now this is mid-cap, so now I have 120 BBs, so a lot more. I know it looks a bit ridiculous, but who cares, it's airsoft. Time for gas-operated shotguns, my personal favorite type. This uses green gas. You can also find models that use CO2, and in this model, gas is under this valve, so we've got a lot of room for gas, and it gives you around 100 or even 150 shots, depending on a type of a gas, and of course, what are the weather circumstances outside. You have to reload it every single time, but there are no heavy springs, so it's very light to reload it. And it shoots better and a bit farther than spring-operated shotguns. And it uses this kind of shells. Let's just check if the previous one from the other producer works. Works just fine. There are also shotguns that are gas operated and do not have stuck for holding the gas. In this situation, it's usually in the pistol grip. Now, in this Marui one, it's mine. It's in this magazine that holds only gas. BBs still are loaded here with shotgun shell magazine or this very weird adapters. Next are shotguns, which are gas operated, but gas is inside every single cartridge, like this one. You fill it up with BBs, you put a special cap and load it just like a real firearm. It is really hard to say that's a replica. So after every shot, there's a BB shower which leaves the barrel, then you reload it, empty case leaves the replica, and next one feeds the gun. It even ejects in the same direction. Now, this is by far the most realistic kind of a shotgun. Well, the problem is, those are not very cheap and it's very easy to lose them if you're not using a special bag that is attached to the shotgun. But still, they are freaking cool. Spring-operated shotguns are very easy to maintain, are very easy to use and work all the year, even if it's very, very cold winter. Now, gas-operated shotguns are very, very cool. They are easier to reload and they give you a bit more options than spring-operated shotguns, but if it's very cold, it's better not to take them outside. What if you want to play all the year and are lazy enough so you don't want to reload it every single time using much force, so you just don't want to get tired during the skirmish? How about electric shotgun? Yes, boys and girls, this is the famous Tokyo Marui. This uses magazines or drum mags. It shoots 3 BBs at a time. There are 3 barrels and 3 hop-up chambers, or maybe 1 hop-up chamber, but each barrel can be adjusted separately, so it could be very, very accurate, and it works with a battery. We've got nothing going on here. We've got semi, and yes, there's full auto. And yes, it works with drum magazines. So if you want something with a very, 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 very high rate of destruction, this is something for you, especially in close quarters, because it's lower than 300 FPS, so in the forest you will not reach very, very far, but inside the buildings, man, it really rocks. So, we've got spring-operated shotguns, gas-operated shotguns, and electric shotguns. These are basic versions of the stuff you can find on the market. They can use magazines or shotgun shells. Some shotgun shells may be the magazine itself or hold both BBs and the gas, and these are the most realistic ones. Now, to find out which is the best, I think it's the question for you, my dear viewer, because everybody is looking for something else in airsoft. If you want to shoot whole year and don't want to leave a lot of money in a shop like Gunfire or a different shop, the spring-operated shotguns are the most cost-effective. If you want a lot of realism, this is something most realistic on the market by far. And if you want the cool factor and you don't want to reload all the time and you want a lot of firepower, electric shotgun is now by far the best tool for this. There are different designs that will occur quite soon, I think, and maybe we'll make a video when it hits the market, but right now these are the most choices for you. Write down in comments below which would be your favorite, which kind of shotgun do you use, and what applications other than airsoft you can find using this kind of shotguns. Leave a like, hit the bell, and see you again in another episode of Gunfire TV.